I do not deny that the recordation tax has to be at $6.50. It cannot continue to be what it was. The argument that I started making on Tuesday was, well, what about the property tax rate? Because that will hit more people, and that will be a harder hit for more people. So I've come up with a number of possibilities about how we might go about not having to increase the 2-cent tax, the property tax. Some of it is going to be one time, and it's not a perfect solution, and it doesn't help us in the long term. Some of the options are not going to be popular with certain people. But I feel that you know, it's important that we do try, or at least I propose to everybody, that we try to find a way to curtail that 2-cent tax increase. And I know that, to me, removing the 2-cent tax increase, removing Piney Run from this year and PFAS from this year and Georgetown puts us in a position where we do not have to raise taxes this year. Now, if that doesn't work, if nobody's happy with that, I have a couple of other options we can try. Some of them are mixed. Some of them would be removing some of these projects. For example, removing PFAS in Georgetown, and this is not going to make anybody happy. You know, we just had this discussion about, you know, moving EMS in the right direction. We've held a lot of departments to last year's level of funding, and we're as close as possible. In a lot of cases, we've given partial increases as a way to step us in the right direction. Now, I know, and I'm going to bring down a storm here, but public school funding. We've allocated $6 million for that ongoing from this year on. Now, if we're moving them in the right direction, right? I know they're trying to get ahead of the teacher salaries and the increases. So if we reduced some of that, that would help us get to a point where we could use fund balance, and then we wouldn't have to worry about.
We cannot.
And all the things he's going to mention have been mentioned before in the last 8 weeks.
8% to cut out of this budget?
0.8.
0.8.
We can't find 0.8 to cut out of this budget?
And to say that we didn't talk about these things for the past 8 weeks, I mentioned all these things
I
the past 8 weeks.
understand, but we didn't make any decisions. It's unconscionable to make those decisions today, but like I said.
Also, I will repeat my motion to remove PFAS and then to use surplus revenue to balance the budget with $3,046,000, whatever it was. $3,046,006.
I'm just convinced that 5 Republicans sitting around a table can come up with 0.8% of a budget to cut. I'm still hopeful.
Push this any farther out, but I'd rather us take another day and take a stab at it. I'd rather look at this for the next 3 days and stare at it. And I know, you know, Mr. Zaleski's not loving that idea, to say the least. I'm not particularly fond of it either, but I think there's still some things we could do. I mean, clearly we were able to add things today. We should be able to remove some things as well. And I don't know how we're going to do it in under 30 minutes.
So 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock Tuesday.
9 o'clock, okay.
9 o'clock on
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
motion.